Welcome back to Gun&ShotTV. This is Chris, and today we're going to be talking about stick mags. Now, I have talked about KCI mags. I did a video where I had a bunch of, I think they were they're Glock 19 mags that I got. I think it was I got some from CDNN and I got some from somewhere else. I really like them. I use them for USPSA and stuff. I also have a couple of stick mags. Now, the guys from KCI US, like the US branch of it, contacted me and they said that they were interested in sending me some demo mags. They said that they came out with a second generation of stick magazines, and if I'd be interested, they would like to send me some to test. So I assumed they were just going to send me one. This is the one of the ones I already had that I got with the Glock 19 mags, but they sent me this Gen 2. Now, it's pretty much the same. I've actually had really good luck with all the KCI mags I have. I've broken a few base plates on the ones that I use for competition shooting because I'm dropping them on hard concrete. But, you know, that's after, I think, 4 or 5 years. I've had 2 base plates crack or whatever. So I've actually had really good luck with the 33 rounders. The only real difference is the old school ones had like stippling here. They had these little dots up by the feed lips. The new one doesn't have the stippling, so it looks a lot more like a Glock factory mag. It does not have those dots, once again, more like a Glock factory mag, but they're both marked the same on the bottom, 33 rounds, made in Korea. They also sent me a 40 caliber Glock magazine, but I do not have a 40 caliber Glock. So I had a friend come over and I did test the mag. It ran fine. They sent me a 45 caliber Glock magazine, but I don't have a 45 caliber Glock. I do have a Glock 20, which is in 10mm. They used the same size frame and magazine, so I actually tried 10mm in this magazine, and it worked okay, but the feed lips were just a little bit wide, so if you put like 30 rounds or 27, however many fit in there, they would kind of pop out if you left it sitting. So I took a C-clamp and I kind of tweaked the lips together a little bit, and it actually feeds and works fine with 10mm. It would also probably feed 40 fine with the conversion barrel and a large frame. So that's kind of neat. They also sent me this, and this is a 15 round stick mag for a 1911. So I'm going to load this up, we'll give it a shot. And when I was talking to the guy, I said, you know, I saw you have those drum mags. So he agreed to send me a drum mag to test. Now these are kind of neat. The stick mags are just like a regular Glock mag, just bigger. But these drum mags, how they work is there's a lever here, and you pull this lever, and each time you pull it, you can drop a couple rounds in. So it's actually kind of easy to load compared to a fully loaded stick mag, because you take the pressure off the spring. The only thing I'll tell you is, and I made this mistake the second I got this out of the box, do not ever unload it by dropping the spring tension, because if you do, the rounds can fall off track and end up loose in the mag, and that is a problem. You have to take the whole mag apart. They don't recommend you take this apart from what I've seen online. I did figure out how to take it apart. I found a guy whose YouTube video showed how most of it worked. I managed to shoot the clockwork spring out of the magazine. So if you take it apart, be very careful. If you guys are interested, I can make a video showing how to take it apart, but I wanted to run it at the range and stuff. So if you guys are interested, comment and I'll get around to that at some point. But I'm gonna load all these up and we're gonna take them down and test them out and see how they run. Like I said, I've already kind of messed with them. They ran fine, but it was more, I had some friends over shooting and stuff and we just played with them. So I'm not gonna be surprised if these run fine. You sometimes will have issues with like a snail mag like this, just because there's a lot of parts. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if something like this might take some break-in before it runs 100%. It ran fine when I've tried it thus far, but I'm going to load all these up and we'll try them. I'm especially interested to see how that 1911 mag runs, because that's something pretty neat. I know they make extended 1911 mags like other companies do for the carbine kits and stuff, but they're really expensive. So these are a much cheaper alternative. So we've got our 33 round 9mm. Like I said, this is the Gen 2 magazine. I know the Gen 1 ones work fine. So fed, lock back, everything works fine. Like I said, I'm not really surprised. I've had really good luck with these magazines. So here we have our 50 round drum magazine. Looks kind of funny sticking out of a Glock 19. Kind of gets boring shooting a mag this big. Still going. If you're paying for range time by the minute and you don't want to reload, I mean, these are great. The one thing they will not do is they won't lock back like that, but as you can see, 50 rounds, it's kind of neat. It's kind of big to actually carry or do much other than range use, but a really fun mag if you're out plinking and want to go through a bunch of targets, cans, something like that. So this is our 45 mag. Like I said, I bent it in a tiny bit so it supports 10 millimeter without them popping loose. Like I said, out of the packaging, it worked kind of okay, but if you left it loaded, they could kind of like slowly pop out because the lips have a little bit of flex to them and they were just too wide for 10 millimeter. But I just pinched them in a little bit. The only issue I have is I'm using a Wolf replacement barrel, so it's kind of tight and it doesn't always feed right from Glock mags. I've tried reaming that out a little bit, but anyway, so it may have a couple stoppages. We'll see how it runs. I don't think that's going to be the mag, and like I said, I've even messed with the mag, but when I've tested it before, it's actually run really well. So I did have a couple feed issues, but like I said, it's more the barrel than anything. I could use the stock Glock barrel and everything runs fine, but the stock barrel has a bigger chamber, so it wears out the 10 millimeter brass, and I reload it and I'm cheap, so that's why I'm using a barrel that's known to be a little bit picky. But if you're just using like factory ammo and you're using one of these mags like this with a factory Glock barrel because you're not worried about the brass stretching, it should run fine. You might just want to use your stock magazine to figure out just how to tweak the feed lips. So here we have our 1911 with our 15 round stick mag. I've shown this 1911 before. It is a Mixmaster. It's a World War I era frame with a 50s era slide. Like, it's seen things. But it seems to run really well. We'll try it with the stick mag and see how it goes. All 15 rounds. So I'm interested to see. I didn't see how much these retail for, but I'm sure they're much cheaper than finding one from one of those old carbine kits where they had like an extended barrel, and I think it was like grips that had like a stock attached to them. I know they used to sell them back in like the 50s, but like I said, kind of a neat new product. I haven't seen this before. So like I said, the 10 millimeter barrel is a little flaky on feeding. I don't think it's the magazine. So I put in the 40 caliber conversion, and I loaded up a bunch of 40 in this 45 mag that I pushed the lips together, and we'll see how those feed. Like I said, I think it's more the 10 millimeter barrel. I'm still working on it. I've been slowly but surely taking off little bits to get the feed better, but like I said, if you're using a stock Glock 10 millimeter barrel, these 45 mags will work fine for that. So there you have it, these extended stick and the snail drum magazine, whatever, KCI, you know, compared to a factory Glock magazine, really cheap. The only thing I wish is I think it's time for like KCI to come out with a dedicated 10mm magazine. Not that you can't just tweak the lips like I did on that 45 caliber one, but the round count in the back doesn't line up and stuff. So it'd be neat if they came out with one, because I don't think Glock even does. I know you can get extenders for, I think, Chris 45s, and you can put that on a 10mm mag, but once again, you know, that's kind of a hinky solution to it. So but if you're interested, check out KCI. Like I said, I've had really good luck with everything I bought from them. They're really cheap compared to the Glock stuff, and you know, they just look like a regular Glock magazine. I know there's some new competition out there with Magpul, and there's, I think, ETS or somebody. There's a few different companies out there, but for being dirt cheap, KCIs have been really good for me. So, you know, if you're interested, check them out. See if they run well in your gun. They're pretty good value. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, click thumbs up. If you didn't, click thumbs down. If you got any questions or comments, make sure you leave me a comment. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. And for Gun&ShotTV, this is Chris saying thanks and have a great day.